Welcome back. Today we're going to start with page number 14, workout 7. The first question is question number 1, which says draw more raindrops so that there are 16 in total. So let's count how much raindrops there are right now. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there are 12 right now. So to make them 16, you put 12 in your mind and count to 16. 12 in your mind and 13, 14, 15, 16. And in your fingers, you can see there are 4 fingers opened when you count to 16. So which means we need to draw 4 more raindrops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's do question number 2. Question number 2 is work out the answers. We need to work out the answers of 3 plus 8. We need to find the bigger number. Is 8 the bigger number or 3? Yeah, 8 is the bigger number. So we put 8 in your mind and count on 3. 8 in your mind and count on 9, 10, 11. 3 plus 8 is 11. Now let's do 14 take away 7. We're going to put 14 in your mind and count backwards 7. 14 in your mind and then 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. So I count backwards 7 and our answer was 7. So 14 take away 7 equals 7. Now let's do question number 3. It says make 2 different number sentences, only use the numbers in the box. So these are the numbers in the box. There's 20, 12, and 8. So first, let's try doing 20 takeaway. Or we can't do takeaway because we can only do plus, because there are only plus signs there. So we can try 12 plus 8 equals 20. So 12 in your mind, 12 in your mind, and 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, 12 plus 8 makes 20. So we can write 12 in this box, and there's already a plus here, and then plus 8 makes 20. So if we know 12 plus 8 makes 20, which means 8 plus 12 can also make 20. And now question number 4 is color in 1/4 of this shape. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 parts in this shape. So we write 4 here and color in 1/4. So that means we shade in 1 piece. Now we're going to start from page number 15. Question number 5. These clocks show times in the afternoon. Circle the clock that shows the earlier time. So this first clock has two arms, a short arm and a long arm. The short arm is the hours arm, and the long arm is the minutes arm. So the hours arm is between the 3 and the 4 here. So it's halfway between it. And the minutes hand is on the 6, and the total is 12, and 6 is the half of 12, which means it's half past. And in between this 12 and this 1, there are 5 minutes. Then 5 minutes here, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes here, and 5 minutes here, 5 minutes here, which all the way to 6, which makes 30 minutes here. So it is 30 minutes, and the 30 is the half, so which means the full would be 60. Now we know it's 3:30. This is in analog clock. When there's a clock here, this is an analog clock. Now let's make this analog clock at the same time as the digital clock. In the digital clock, the hours hand, we write it first. So in the hours, there are 3 hours and 30 minutes. So this is how we would write the time in digital clock. Now let's look at this second clock. The hours hand is between the 4 and the 5, and the minutes hand is on the 6, which means half. So because it's past the 4 and before the 5, which means it's 4:30. This is how we pronounce the digital clock, 4:30. And now I'll show you how to pronounce the analog clock. You pronounce it like this, 4:30, because the 6 is the half. Now we need to see which digital clock is the bigger and which one is the smaller. The 4:30 is the bigger because the 4 is bigger than the 3. And the 3 is less because it's less than 4. So we need to circle this clock here because it's the earlier time, and it told us to circle the earlier time. Now we need to circle the 3:31, which is this one. And that is our answer. Now let's do question number 6. It says fill in the missing numbers. The first calculation is something plus 70 equals 100. And to find the answer, we need to assume that this something is anything. It can be A. So let's write it again. A plus 70 equals 100. So because A is not the answer right now, so we'll rub it out here. And to find what the A actually is, we need to leave it alone. And when we leave that alone, we need to take the 70 to the other side. And because this is plus right now, when we take the 70 to the other side, this plus sign will turn into a take away. So it'll turn into 100 take away 70. And when we do 100 take away 70, 170 are big numbers, so you might not know how to do it, but 10 and 7 are smaller numbers. So if I know 10 take away 7 10 in your mind and count backward 7. 10, 9, 8, wait. We need to take out 7 fingers first and we might get confused. So 10 in our mind and count back. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. So I have 3 left. So 10 take away 7 is 3. And because the actually thing we had to do was 100 take away 70. So we have to just do 0 take away 0 because the 0 was left when we make this a 10 and when we make this a 7 this 0 is left, so we do 0 take away 0 which is 0. So we make this 3 into a 30 by adding the 0 in it. So which means 100 take away 70 is 30. So now we know this A here is not A anymore, it's 30. Which means here for the answer we can write 30. And just to double check our answer, we need to do 30 plus 70. Let's do column addition. You can write 30 here and then 70 here and then plus, and you need to plus it, which makes 0 plus 0 is obviously 0 and 7 plus 3 is 10. So the answer is right, it makes 100. Now let's move on to the second one. The second one is 20 plus something equals 100. To do 20 plus something equals 100, let's assume this something is maybe now it can be a B. Yeah, a B because the A was for last time, but you can still do it A, but let's just move on. So let's write it again. 20 plus B equals 100. The B is not the answer, but we need to write something else so we can find the answer. Because B is not the answer, we can write it out here. And to find what B actually is, you need to leave the B alone and then take the 20 to the other side. And because there's a plus here, we need to do the opposite of it and make it a takeaway. So we need to do 100 take away 20. And we can use the same method. If you don't know what 100 take away 20 is, you might know what 10 take away 2 is. 10 in your mind and count backward 2. And so we don't get confused, we open 2 fingers. 10 in your mind and count backward. 9, 8. So there's 8 left. So the answer is 8 for 10 take away 2. But that's not the real answer because the thing we had to do was 100 take away 20. So this 0 and this 0 is left. So we do 0 take away 0, which equals 0. So we do 8 and add this 0 here, which makes 0. And so 80, which means 100 take away 20 is 80. the 80 is the answer for what B should be. Now we know 80 is B, so we can write 80 here. Now let's move on to question number 7. Question number 7 is find the total amount in each box. This is a 10p coin and this is another 10p coin. 10p plus 10p, let's do column addition. 10p here and another 10p here. We don't need to add these p's here, so we can rub these p's out and let's do 10 plus 10. 10 plus 10, let's do the ones first. 0 plus 0 is 0. And 1 plus 1 is 2. So 10 plus 10 is 20, which means this is 20p. And the second one has a 5p, a 20p, and a 1p. So because the 1 is a small number, you can add the 5. It is also a small number, so we can put 5 in our mind and count onwards 1. So 5 in your mind and then 6. So firstly we know it's 6. And there's a 20 here as well. So we need to add the 20 into 6. Add 20. We need to find what the bigger number is. The bigger number is 20. So we need to put 20 in our mind and count onward 6. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26. Which means the answer for this one is 26. Now let's see question number 8. Question number 8 is Finley has a glass of juice. It is more than a quarter full and less than a half full. Which glass is his? Circle A, B, or C. So there is an A here, B here, and C here, and we need to circle one of these. This one, or this one. Now we need to focus on this part here. It is more than a quarter full. So here's a glass, just for example. Here's a glass, and this would be half of it. Or maybe that's not exactly half, because both the parts need to be exactly equal to be a half here, and then a quarter is a half of the half. So if this is half of it, to make this half a quarter, you need to see if this is like one shape. So half of it is this much. So this is 1/4 of it. And first we need to find what is 1/4 of this. No, we don't need to find a quarter full. We need to find more than quarter full. So first, this is a quarter full, but this one is more than a quarter full. And it says less than half full. We need to find the more than a quarter full. So if this much of the if this much of the container here is a quarter, then more than a quarter would be more than this line. And this first container has less than it. So this one, the A1, is crossed out. So we can rub the line from this A1 here. And this one, it says and less than half full, but this is half and this is more. We can draw another line here. We can see this one is a little bit less than half and a bit more than quarter. So we know the answer is C. It can't be A because it's less than a quarter full, but it said we need more. It can't be B, can't be this B either because it says less than a half full, but this is more than a half. And C is more than a quarter, and less than a half, which means the answer is C.